Hello everyone, welcome to Sharmit. In this session, we are going to discuss about another very important topic of Angular directive, that is nested ngSwitch. Okay, so in this session, mainly we are going to talk about ngSwitch and we will see how we can use ngSwitch in a nested way. Along with this, we will also discuss why it is so important to learn about this concept, because we all know that ngSwitch we know, right? But if you remember in previous sessions, like when we discussed about the ngFor and ngIf, that time also we discussed about the nested concept. So concept is almost same, but the syntax is different, structure is different, because everything is now in terms of objects, because we are going everything is in now is in terms of ngSwitch, because we are learning it with so let's make it simple for you. So to explain the things in a very simple way, what I will do, I'll show you one example, one real world related example, and then one by one we will learn the concept. Okay, but before we proceed further, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released sessions first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow them sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic, because for time being we are just mainly focusing on how to use ngSwitchCase in a nested way. Alright, so let's get started. So firstly, what you need to do, you need to do the prerequisites thing. That includes the files, the directives which you want to use, right? So to use that directive, like we are going to use the ngSwitch, and it comes with common module, right? So let's go to app.component.ts file. Here in this file we will import the common module. So I'll just simply put here common module. Once it is added, it will import it here, and once it is imported, then you are good to go and use the ngSwitch. Now as we are going to talk about the nested concept, so for that what we will do, we will define one object. Okay, so let's define the object. Here I'm using the name as user details. Okay, then equal, it's an object, so we will use this curly braces, and inside this curly braces we will define the fields like role. Let's set it as admin for now, then comma, then we will set here permission, and in this permission we will write read or write, whatever, let's say write. Okay, so these are the things which we have set here. Now our requirement is that we want to check if the user is admin, then in that case we will show one message, welcome admin, and if it has the right access, so we will simply show one message, right access is granted. Okay, but if the role is different, let's say guest role is there, so in that case we will just simply show welcome guest, we will not show any permission. Okay, so for this kind of branching, what we will do, we will use the nesting concept. Now I'll show you practically so that you can understand it a more better way. So let's go to app.component.html file. Here we will put one heading, so I will write the heading like this. Okay, and in this heading we will simply mention the topic name. So today's topic name is nested ngSwitch in Angular. Okay, so this is our main topic. Now after this, what we will do, we will simply create one div, and in this div we will be using the concept of nested switch. So let's write here div, and then we will close this div box here and expand it. Okay, now here we will add ngSwitch, and we will check the user details dot role. So firstly we are checking the role. If it is like I just mentioned, the switch case, like now our switch case is based on user detail dot role. Okay, so let's add another div here. So in this div we will use ngSwitchCase star ngSwitchCase. In this star ngSwitchCase we will put admin. So firstly I'm checking it for admin, and remember one thing, you need to put the single quote because we are just checking the value here. Okay, admin. Now after this, what we will do, we will simply add one paragraph, and in this paragraph we will show admin panel. Okay, or maybe you can write welcome admin, that is also fine. So this is the first thing, right? Now for this one, like we have created this thing. Now after once admin panel is populated, we will check another condition. So I will check here div. In this div we will write ngSwitch again, and this is called nesting because inside a switch we are using another switch, but this time we are going to use the user details dot permission. Okay, and here we will check another div. So here we will check for not div, literally we need a paragraph here. Okay, so let's add the para. Okay, so in this paragraph we will write star ngSwitchCase equal right. So if it is right, and again this is a string, so we need to put it in a single quotes. So if it is right, we will write right access is granted. Okay, so this is the thing which we want to print if the mode is right. Let's say if mode is read only, so in that case what we will do, we will simply write here ngSwitchCase, let me write it again. So here we will write ngSwitch, then we will we need to put ngSwitchCase, so star ngSwitchCase. Inside this we will use single quotes and we will write here read. Okay, and after this we will write read access is granted. For now I'm just printing this messages, but you can write your own logic, whatever value you want to show here. Okay, fine. So this thing is ready. Now next thing is, we know that if switch case is admin, if that means if user is admin, so in that case what we will do, we will simply print admin panel and then we are checking its access. But what will happen if the switch case is not admin? So for that we will write another logic here. So I will write div, and in this div we will check star ngSwitchCase, and inside the switch case we will write guest. Okay, so if it's a guest, then we will print one message in a paragraph where we will write guest panel. Okay, and maybe after this if you want to check any other specific condition, you can check it here, but for now I'm just showing for guest, I'm just showing only one thing, in case if because guests don't have the right access, right? So that's why like just keep it normal. Fine. Now let's run the application to verify the things. So here I will write ngserve -open enter. Okay, so it will take few seconds and it will open the browser. So now you can see we got this message, nested ngSwitchInAngular admin panel right access is granted. Why? Because if you look at the app.component.ts file, here the role is admin and permission is right. So let's say instead of write we will make it as read. So what will happen? It will show read access is granted. But my question is, let's say instead of read or write we write something other. Okay, so let's say something, anything here which is not read or write. So in that case it is not showing any error or not showing any message. So for that maybe you can add here a default message. So we will write ngSwitch star ngSwitchCase default, and in this default value we will write please or we can write no access granted, no access granted. Okay, so this is just to show the user that no access is not there. Okay, so these are the all steps that you are supposed to follow in order to implement the nested ngSwitch. And why we are calling it nested ngSwitch? Because you can see one ngSwitch is there, inside it we are using another ngSwitch, and this is the term wherever there is a term of nested, it means something inside something. For example, if you look at the div, there is a div, then another div, then another div. So this is called nested div. Similarly, when you talk about the ngSwitch, so one ngSwitch, inside this another ngSwitch, this is called nested ngSwitch. Okay, so I hope this session is clear to all of you. In the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.